I consider myself to be a mostly positive reviewer. I have a standing policy of only making full-length reviews if I manage to finish the entire run of episodes. This little rule is responsible for my large base of positive reviews. I only finish the shows that manage to entertain me. The shows that have received negative reviews from me still offered a sense of entertainment that allowed me to complete the series. However, there are plenty of shows that I stopped watching due to one reason or another. There's usually one or two every season. I was brainstorming ideas in order to cover these shows that I'm no longer watching. It would be irresponsible of me to do a full-length review, so I came up with the idea of the drop zone. Anime that I stopped watching will receive a rather short review that will mostly consist of the reasons that I stopped watching. With that setup out of the way, it's time to cover Twin Star Exorcist for this first episode of the drop zone. Twin Star Exorcist commits the cardinal sin of manga adaptations. It changes the source material too much. Usually I'm not a big stickler for carrying out the original author's work to the letter. Sometimes the studio has to change things in order to make the adaptation feasible. This is not one of those cases. This anime adaptation introduces some terrible filler episodes with almost identical plot lines. The two main characters fight, they have to rescue the three exorcists that can't do their jobs, and then they share a loving moment. It's just so boring to see this filler over and over again. To add insult to injury, the anime also introduced an annoying mascot type character that was not present in the manga. This character only serves to be absolutely annoying at every turn. This anime is at its best when it gives a straight-up adaptation of the manga, but it can't even do that right at some points. Events that happen in the manga have been aired out of order. This cookie-cutter approach has drastically altered the chain of events. The first battle with the main villain was shortened immensely. I can only imagine that they will somehow shoehorn in the rest of the fight at some point. This time it will lose its effectiveness though. Almost all of the problems I had with the pacing of the story are non-existent in the manga. I'm not even going to go into detail about the many points of awful animation. The changes to the story were enough to get me to drop this series at 14 episodes. If anyone is interested in checking out this series, I recommend skipping the anime and solely reading the manga. Everything about the story just makes so much more sense in the original manga. That wraps up the first episode of Drop Zone. This feature will not be a regular thing, but will simply come up as I drop shows. Like always, I'll be back next week for another piece, and thanks for checking this one out.